Okay, good morning, guys. How are you doing today? Good morning, online. Good morning. So, hope everyone are doing good. Good morning. All right. So, yes. So, what did we discuss yesterday? Any practical? Extra things. Okay, good. So today, what we're gonna do is let's move to the next very important service, which is Route 53. Okay, so let me share my screen. Guys, can you please confirm? Can you see my screen and can you hear me well? Okay, fantastic. So let's talk about today Route 53. So guys, whenever someone asks you about Route 53, what do you think? What is Route 53? What is the definition of it? It's a DNS service in AWS. Very good. And then what is 53 called there? Okay, let me take Pradeep's request. So before going to Route 50, let's take a look on other additional services. What else do you need? Let me hear from him. Mr. Pradeep. Oh, that's a joke, huh? Please laugh. You should not be very serious. You should laugh, please. Okay. See, online people are laughing. Laughing is good for health. So, yes, laugh. Everyone laugh once. Oh, yeah. Online guys, I want to see your smiles. Everyone put a smiley symbol. Nice. Hmm? Laughing inner side. Okay. Good, good. So very happy to see you all. Oh, probably Cheti, you got so many Rakis today. That's maybe you're happy. Yes, happy Raksha Bandhan today, right? So wish you a happy Raksha Bandhan. And um, but having a sister is really, really a blessed, right? Having fun with sister, and uh, I'm also a brother of two sisters. So, so how much money lost? Huh? No incoming, only outgoing. Huh? Okay, but that's good. We always, since child, everyone knows this, right? So since childhood, we fight, we scold, we crave, we do. But end of the day, that we are brothers and sisters, and then we always have a very high respect on them, and then we love them with very good and a lot of affection, right? So a very big wow to all the sisters. Okay, and happy Raksha Bandhan. Okay, should we go to our brother now, Route 53? Uh, okay, so Route 53. Okay, Srikanth has a very good sister, maybe. Okay, but See, if sisters are not angry, what is maja in life? Correct, no? If she is like every morning is okay. So sister is like that only, right? Yeah. It should be like she should be bubbly, she should be caring, and she should be like everything, no? In sister, we'll get everything, but from we don't get anything. Okay. Good, Srikant. Yeah. Okay. So good that you guys started with a very nice topic. So let's move on. Nana. So DNS, what is Route 53? It's a DNS service in AWS. Now, why it is Route 53? 53 because DNS port number is 53. For that reason, so we have the 53 here. Okay. So do you remember in our starting days? We have discussed about the DNS, no? Right? So what is DNS? If anyone, that is a full form. What does it do? Do you remember it says that it keep tracks of all host names and IP addresses? Or also we can say it will convert from host name to IP to the host. So let's write that. So it keep track of all host names and IP addresses. And also it will convert host name to IP and IP to host name. Yes. So if you remember, we in our part of the basics, we have learned about DNS, no? Do you remember we discussed about DNS? I took a laptop from the browser require two things. What are those two things? Host name and then IP address. Very good. So I'll just try to remind you those wonderful days. So this is your laptop. So laptop require two things. What are those, Nana? Host name and then IP address. So you open the laptop, and in your laptop you open your browser, correct? You open the browser. Now tell me, first the request will go to where? Wow, very good. So first the request will go to local DNS. Color changing, huh? Okay, local DNS. From local DNS, the request will go to? Nice. And request will go to RNS. What is full form of RNS? Root name server. And again from RNS, the request will go to TLD. What is TLD? Top level domain. Can you give me one example of top level domain? .com. So you have .com, .org, .edu, and all these things. So here we see a .com. So we know this. Okay. Now from here, the request will go to where? Name server. From name server, the request will go to SOA. The request will go to SOA. What's the full form of SOA? Start of authority. So do you remember these topics now? So first, whenever you hit any website or application or URL, the request will go to local DNS. From local DNS, the request will go to RNS, and from RNS, it will go to top level domain, right? And from top level domain, it goes to name server, and from name server, the request will go to SOA, start of authority. And who has the IP address? Who will be having the IP address? SOA has the IP address. Nana? So we discussed this quite long time back. So now tell me, do we need to really worry about this part? This part is completely managed by whom? Do we need to worry about this? No need to worry on this. No need to worry. So what we need to worry here is on this part, which is name server and SOA. And this one, we will be doing it, we will get it in Route 53. So name server, do you remember what is name server? Which identifies the domain name. So I told you, no, let's say for example, I gave anyone remember the example that I gave for this name server? Eh? Okay. But example, Ashok Reddy answered. Movie theater, no? Remember movie theater? So your friends are there in the movie theater, no? And then a couple of friends will be outside your movie theater. And how do you identify? So outside the theater is the request, and the theater is .com. So inside that you have google.com, that means you are there. So now how the request will get identified? So you will be shouting, right? So you will be shouting that, hey Babu, come here, I'm here, right? Similarly here also, who is the guy who will be shouting? Name server. So you are the only one friend here, but AWS is providing 4 friends. How many friends AWS is providing? 4 friends. 4 friends are nothing but servers. What are those? Servers. Name servers is nothing but AWS is providing how many servers? 4 servers. And these 4 servers will be there in .com. And then whenever anyone is hitting any website that is hosted in our AWS, then it starts shouting, hey, come here, come here, come here. Like, you know, how people will call in the hotel, come this side, come this side, right? Similarly, here also AWS is giving the 4 servers. What are those 4 servers called? Name servers. What servers are those called? Name server. Okay, before I go a little bit deeper into this, before that, firstly, please remember Route 53 is global. Route 53 is global certification question. So Route 53 is global. Route 53 is global. Now, what is can we say that DNS is all about records? Agree? What does the Route 53 contain? Records. So what does the DNS contain? Records. DNS is all about what, Nana? Records. What is a record? Key value only, no? What is a record? Key value. You're giving some name and then mapping to someone. Boom.com is mapping to nasty URL. What is that called? Record. You have a key and then you have a value. So now in Route 53, what do we have? Records we have. In what Route 53, what we have? Records. Okay, now in S3, what do we create, Nana? What does the bucket contain? Objects. What does the bucket contain? Objects. So now here also, what are you creating? Records you are creating, but record also should be in some kind of holder, no? Can you just leave records like that in Route 53? No. So you need to create one container, no? And that container, we call it as in Route 53, we call it as hosted zone. What is that called? Hosted zone. Nana, what is hosted zone? Can you say the container of records? Hosted zone is nothing but it's a container of records. So in Route 53, what do we create? What do we create first? Hosted zone. What do we create first? Hosted zone. Inside the hosted zone, what do we have? Records. So again, question in Route 53, what do we create? Hosted zone. In Route 50, we create hosted zone. Okay. Funnily here, we need to give the name of the hosted zone, no? Like in S3, how do you create the bucket? You need to give the bucket name, right? Similarly, here also in in Route 53, you're creating the hosted zone. The name of the hosted zone should be your domain name. Which one? Your domain name. So Nana, before this, we have what does the Route 53 provides? Let me talk about Route 53 features. What does Route 53 provide for us? So Route 53 provide number 1, domain registration. What is that? Number 2, DNS routing. Number 3, health checks. Number 4, very important, routing policies. So these are the things that we will be seeing in the Route 53. Now, what is domain registration? In order to have your website, you need to have a domain. Yes or no? In order to have your website, you need to have a domain. No. What is domain? Google.com is a domain. TCS.com, Wipro.com, Infosys.com, Facebook.com, Flip.com, Telugu matrimony.com, Shadi.com. All these all what domains only, no? So if you want to have your application, if you want to have your website, first of all, you need to purchase the domain. So Nana, where do you purchase this domain? There are multiple ways you can go and purchase the domain in multiple places. So now tell me your infrastructure. Where is your infrastructure? In AWS only, no? Where is your infrastructure? AWS only. Then where do you purchase the domain? In AWS or outside? AWS only, no? So you are in your place. Let's say, for example, you are in Nizampet, for example, Miapur, Nizampet. So if you want to eat biryani, nice restaurant, you have a very nice restaurant called Mehfil there. So will you go to the Mehfil or will you go to RTC Crossroads? Nearby, right? So which is very near to you. You can go with Bawarchi or you can go with some other, right? So similar here also. Discount, huh? Okay. Savaka, huh? Okay. So here also here also, whenever, if you want to purchase the domain, what is that? If you want to purchase the domain, it's always better to purchase the domain in Route 53 itself. Okay. Where are the other places where you can go and purchase the domain? You can go for GoDaddy, HostGator, and there are so many third-party providers available in the market where you can go and purchase the domain there also. But what I recommend here is, whenever, let's say, for example, you have purchased a domain in GoDaddy. So whenever you hit, the domain name is boom.com. So whenever you hit boom.com, first it will go to GoDaddy or AWS? It will go to GoDaddy. So it will go to GoDaddy first, and then it will come to Route 53. So that millisecond latency problems will be there. No, latency issues will be there. For that reason, it's always better if your infrastructure is in AWS. I would recommend to purchase the domain where? In AWS. So where in AWS you can go and purchase a domain? In Route 53. So in Route 53, this will also act as a registrar. That meaning you can go and purchase the domain here in Route 53. So you have so many hundreds of domains available in Route 53. You have .com, .org, .in, .edu, .uk, .pk, .k, this k, and so many are there. .abc is there, right? I'll show you when we go to the lab, right? There are so many things. So you can go and purchase any of the domain. Each domain has some specific price. So which is the most common domain people use is .com. So that's why if you want to purchase in Route 53, it is $12 per year. How much? $12 per year, not per month, per year. So $12 will come as less than 1,000 rupees. So 1,000 rupees per year. So if at all you want to do the practicals in Route 53, there are two ways for you. Either you need to purchase the domain, either you need to pay 1,000 rupees to AWS and purchase the domain in Route 53. Otherwise, you can go and purchase the domain in GoDaddy. In GoDaddy, how much, Nana? 150 rupees. There you can go and purchase it. Third thing is, don't do anything. Just watch what I'm saying, what I'm doing it. No practicals for you, right? If at all you want to do the practicals, you need to purchase the domain. Otherwise, no. You can use it, but the thing is, configuration you need to change it multiple times. So because I'll tell you, I'll cover that in today's slide. So now you understood. So that is domain registration. And what is DNS routing? Routing meaning someone hit boom.com, it will route it to your nasty URL. No, so that is called routing. What is that called? Routing. So from from key, it is going to the value. So now your hosted zone name should be same as your domain name. If you are purchasing the domain called boom.com, your hosted zone name also should be boom.com only. If you're going and purchasing venkat.com or vinod.com, right, and then sai.com, right, so you need to go and create a hosted zone with the same name. So hosted zone domain name should be same. Let's say boom.com. So in Route 53, what is the first thing that we need to create, Nana? Hosted zone. What is the name of the hosted zone? Same as your domain names. For example, here I took boom.com. So there are two. Oh, it's not available. Huh? Okay, probably I need to go and purchase maybe. Good idea, Nandkishore. So I'm not a big fan of boom.com, but whatever I get in my mouth, I'll say boom.com, right? Otherwise I need to take your names. If I ask you, tell me your name, you'll see just no name, nothing. That's why I said boom.com. Okay, so uh, only boom.com, not boom boom. Uh, okay, so Nana, there are two types of hosted zone. How many types of hosted zones are there? Uh, two types of hosted zone. So number one is, we call it as public hosted zone. Number one is what? Public hosted zone. Number two, wow, the public hosted zone. And second one is private hosted zone. Public hosted zone and private hosted zone. So public hosted zone meaning, Chiti, public hosted zone meaning, if you want to have your website available through the internet, if you have your website to be available over the internet, then go and create a public hosted zone. Which one? Public hosted zone. Okay. So I saw you're online student. Offline only. Okay. I saw it today only. You're daily coming? Uh-huh. I see. What is the name? Pavan. Okay. Okay. Good. So there are two types of hosted zone. What are those? Public hosted zone and private hosted zone. So if you want to have your application to be available over the internet, then which one you need to select? Public hosted zone. And if you don't want your website to be available in the internet, then go for private. So then where it will be available? Within the VPC. Within your AWS, within the VPC only, your website. Intranet. Internet, intranet. So intranet meaning within your company, within your VPC itself. So if you want that kind of thing, then go with the private hosted zone. But if you want to have your website to be available throughout the world or through the public, then go with the public hosted zone. So public hosted zone meaning internet, private hosted zone meaning here within the VPC or intranet. Okay, so now slowly. So now we created a hosted zone. What does the hosted zone contains? What does the hosted zone contains? Records. Very good. What is it? Records. The hosted zone contain records. Okay, can you give me the sample record? If someone is hitting boom.com, the boom.com should be routed to which one? ELB nasty URL, correct? Anna, yes or no? You have your boom website, no? Your boom.com should be routed to your load balancer only, no? How you load balance is nothing but your nasty URL, right? So this is the record that you will be creating in the Route 53. So now the request will go and hit this record, and from this record it will go to where? To the load balancer it go, yes or no? It will go to the load balancer. From the load balancer it go to EC2 instances. Do you see how does it go? ELB EC2. Okay. You understand how the request will flow? Okay, now tell me. Whenever you hit boom.com, first the request will go to where? It will go to Route 53. From Route 53, it will go to, you missed directly you went. From it go to, what does the Route 53 contain? Records. Before record, hosted zone. From it go to the hosted zone. From Route 50, it will go to the hosted zone. From the hosted zone, it goes to the records. And from records, it go to the ELB. And from ELB, it goes to the EC2. This is how the request will flow. Understood? Super. So, and remember, in public hosted zone, whenever you created a hosted zone, guys, 2 records will be created automatically. How many records will get automatically? 2 records. That records are called NS record and SOA record. Which record? NS record and SOA record. What is NS record meaning? Name server record. So whenever you created a hosted zone, Fatak, it will create how many records? 2 records. Those are called default records. What are the 2 records that will create? NS record and SY record. Those are called also default records. So NS record is nothing but name server. How many servers it is giving AWS? How many servers it is giving? Name servers? 4, no? Just now I said how many it is giving? 4. So this NS record is nothing but it's a pool of servers. How many servers? 4 servers. How many servers? 4 servers. So these are the 4 servers who will be shouting all the time in the .com domain saying that, Babu, come here, come here, come here. I'm from AWS. If you come here, I'll take to the AWS infrastructure, to the ELB. So in the internet, who will be shouting here? Name servers will be shouting from AWS. Every individual account will have your own name servers. Every individual account you have. I created a hosted zone. AWS will give you 4 servers. You created a hosted zone. You get 4 servers. He will create. She will create. How many? Every individual account will get the 4 servers. And whatever the infrastructure that you have in AWS, like ELB, EC2, all these things, and you have created a hosted zone called, let's say, venkat.com or vinod.com or whichever it is, right? First, it will go to the Route 53. Right? First, it will go to the internet. And in .com, these are the 4 name servers will be shouting, Babu, boom.com is here in AWS. Come this side. I am the name server of boom.com. I am the agent of boom.com. So come here. So request will be taken by these name servers and will be sent it to the Route 53. So without NS records, is it possible your website will work? So name servers are very important. Understood? And SOA, what is SOA? SOA is like your admin for hosted zone. Which one? Work will be done by NS record, but Pethanam is with, authority is with SOA. NS record is like husband, SOA is like wife. Simple. Okay. Okay. Understood? So you no need to do nothing with SOA record. It will just sit. That's it. No work. Everything NS record will do the work. Okay, na? So NS record. Without NS record, is it possible to have your application? No, NS record is the one who will be collecting. You will be getting all the requests and will sending to the hosted zone. And the family is maintained by SOA. That means the hosted zone is maintained by SOA. Good. So what are the 2 default records? NS and SOA records are automatically created and handled by AWS. You cannot even delete it. Okay? You cannot even delete it. NS and SOA are called default records. So can you delete this NS and SOA records? No. You cannot delete NS and SOA records. Okay, Chiti? Nana, is this clear till here, everyone? Slowly. No, you cannot delete it. Okay. So one hosted zone. So for one DNS, we can have only one hosted zone. It's not like that. One hosted zone. What is that? One DNS. DNS meaning here? For one DNS, we can have only one hosted zone. The question is itself is a little bit. Yes. For one domain name. You mean the your domain name, correct? So DNS comes completely different. Okay. So yes, one domain name, one hosted zone. So let's say I have a domain name called boom.com. How many hosted zones you can create with boom.com? Only one. Yes. Okay, Nana. So is this clear till here? Okay. Now let me tell you the real-time scenario here. So where from where you can go and purchase the domain? Can we purchase the domain in multiple places? Yes. So what the first thing is from Route 53 itself. And another one is from, let's assume, GoDaddy. GoDaddy or Commummy or whichever it is. Okay. Always GoDaddy, yeah? No Commummy? No Commummy. Okay. So what is the spelling I wrote? GoDaddy, or you can take any provider. So if you purchase in Route 53, do you need to do any other additional configurations? No. So whenever you purchase in Route 53, automatically Route 53 will create a hosted zone. Whenever you purchase the domain in Route 53, right? See, whenever you purchase the domain in Route 53, automatically hosted zone will be created with the domain name. When the hosted zone got created with the domain name, what are the two records will get automatically created? NS and SY records will be automatically created. So whenever we purchase in Route 53, everything is automatically created. Okay, what are these things will be created? Do you need to create a hosted zone manually? No, no need to create hosted zone. It will create automatically with the NS and SY records. Okay, now let's say you have purchased the domain in GoDaddy. The request has to come to Route 53 only, no? But in Route 53, does it create hosted zone? No. We need to create it manually, correct? Somewhere you have purchasing the domain in GoDaddy. How does it will create in Route 53? Right? So what we need to do, we need to create a manually, we need to create it. Manually create hosted zone in Route 53. But when you create automatically, it will generate that. Which one? It will automatically create NS and SY. Okay, see here. Assume this is a GoDaddy. I'm telling you, in real time, please have your domain in your Route 53 only. Don't go with other ones. Okay, I'll tell you the difference here. Assume this is GoDaddy. Okay. No, assume this is GoDaddy. Where did you purchase the domain now? Assume you have purchased it in boom.com. You purchased in GoDaddy. Okay. Now a customer hit boom.com. Now the customer is hitting boom.com. But my load balancer boom.com application is in AWS. But my domain is in GoDaddy. So the request will hit whom? GoDaddy. If you went and opened in the browser boom.com, so the request will go to where? GoDaddy. So how does the GoDaddy knows that it should send to our Route 53? Correct? Because our infrastructure is in AWS, no? But you have purchased in GoDaddy. So we need to update something in GoDaddy so that the request will go to our Route 53, correct? What are the things that you need to update is, Nana. So you created a hosted zone, right? What does it create? It create two records. What are those two records? What are the two records? NS record and SY record. Do we need to worry about SY record? No. In NS record, how many servers are there? That 4 servers you need to update in GoDaddy. Because who was the guy who is calling her? Come. NS servers only. SY will be. Who will NS server will ask, no, come here, AWS infrastructure here. So it will be in internet who will be getting all the requests. So now these NS records will be it should be in Route 53 or it should be in GoDaddy now? In the GoDaddy. So you need to update AWS Route 53 NS records here in GoDaddy. So whenever you updated this, the request will come to the GoDaddy. As it has the Route 53 records, then it will get redirected to route 53. Once it redirect to route 53, from there, route 53 will pick it up. Because from route 53, we have the records, no? It'll go to the NAST URL or whichever the URL, EC2, load balancer, everything it'll take it. So if you are purchasing the domain outside now, what is the only thing that you need to do? You need to update NS records in that third party. This is the only thing that you need to do. Okay, Nana? So update NS records. Update records in GoDaddy. Once you update, then requests will redirected to AWS. You understood? So in real time, if you are if you are doing like this, if you're doing like this, that millisecond latency will also get missed, no? That will get calculated, right? So is it good to have the domain outside your Route 53? So that millisecond latency also will be the issue for us, correct? Whenever you open the application, fatak, you are expecting to open just like that, right? If it is taking one ringa roses, one round also, you will get frustrated. Customer will get frustrated. For that reason, remember in real time. So if, sir, what if I don't want to use GoDaddy anymore, I just want my domain here. So later you can create the domain here, simple as that. Or you can transfer the domain. So can we have our domain Route 53? Yes, that is what I'm shouting till now. So we can have our domain. We can purchase the domain in Route 53. So that is the second thing that I told. There are two scenarios I said. One is having the domain in Route 53 itself and having another domain in GoDaddy or some other outside Route 53. Is it clear till here, everyone? Online? Any questions? Yes, correct, Shankar Rao. Hosting a domain Route 53 can be done here in AWS, in Route 53 itself. Okay, Nana, is this clear? Okay. So what does the Route 53 contain? Records. So, and DNS is all about records. DNS is all about records. So we need to, there are so many records available in DNS, so many, but it's not required to go with all the records that you have in DNS. There are few records that will be using it, and it is good to know those records. Let's talk about that records. Should I move on? So next thing here is exactly, Nandakishore. Exactly, correct. So Route 53 records. Okay. So let's talk about these records. So we have so many records available in Route 53, and we call it as a record. What record? A recorder, a recorder. Okay, this is a record. That's good. There is also one more record called, what do you call this? Record. Okay, so generally we call it as a record, not a record. It is a record. And the second one we call it as double a record. Okay, so don't call it as a record. Which record? A record. Okay, no R records. So okay, so we have a record, double a record. We have CNAME record. We have alias record. There are so many records are there. Nana. I'm just listing few. Record, and then PTR record. There are so many records are there. I cannot keep on listing all these things here. Okay, a record meaning, I'll first write URL to IPv4, IPv6. Okay, so let's talk about a record. So we no need to talk about AA record because it is related to which IP address? IPv6. Are we using IPv6? No. If you are using, then you can go for AA record. Otherwise, no need to go. So let's talk about a record first of all. So a record meaning I told you URL to IPv4. What is this URL to IPv4? Let me explain. So let's take the first record called a record. No, and give me. Okay, tell me one website name. Okay, tell me one http://. Tell you one small name. One more. Let me take your names. Vinod. Vinod.com. Let's say Vinod.com. So nice. See here, guys. If someone hit Vinod.com, you tell me the request will go to. First, the request will go to. Whenever you hit Vinod.com, the first request will go to where? Before that, it will go to Route 53. Yes or no? First, it will go to Route 53. From Route 53, it will go to hosted zone. It go to the hosted zone. And from hosted zone, it goes to records. It goes to records. And what is that records? Here we have, what is the record we have? Vinod.com is, okay, generally Vinod.com is routed to where? Nasty, which one? ELB. We can send it to ELB also. Or can we have directly send to EC2 instance IP address also? If I have my application EC2 instance, can I give the IP address here? Vinod.com send it to the IP address, yes. So I can have EC2 instance IP address, but is it recommended to give like this? Because you have there is no high availability if you give the EC2 instance IP, correct? So it is always recommended to give load balancer, not the IP. But is it possible to give the IP also? Yes, possible. So Vinod.com is the URL and URL to IPv4. Can you say this? So if you're going for the A record, guys, if you're using A record, if you want to use the IP address, which is the record that you should be using it? A record. So if you want to use the IP address for your value, I told record meaning it's a key value. So that means if you want to use the IP address in the value, which is the record that you should be using it? A record. So you might be having a requirement in future, right? You need to have the IP address only there. In that case, which is the record that you should be using it? A record. Now let's talk about CNAME record. Which one? CNAME meaning canonical name. Which name? What is canonical meaning? Same. Canonical meaning same. I'm taking the same example here. See here. So whenever you're typing vinod.com, it will go to Route 53. From Route 53, it will go to the hosted zone. From hosted zone, it will go to the records. And here we have vinod.com. Can I send it to the ELB URL now? ELB nasty URL? Yes or no? ELB nasty URL. This is URL to URL? Yes or no, guys? This is URL to URL. So URL to URL. So if you are using this, then go with the CNAME. CNAME meaning what? Canonical name. So my vinod.com and load balancer both are same or not? Same or different? Yes or no? Same, right? Vinod.com is routing to my ELB. Vinod.com is the same thing. My ELB is also same thing because it's same application. So it is sending to URL to URL. And then we have alias record. Which one? So where did you heard about alias? In crime newses you heard, right? Vinod alias Vinodini. Right? So yeah, another name is a second name, correct? Alias meaning another name, second name. So you can use the alias also here. If you're going to alias, vinod.com is nothing but here. Vinod alias Malakpeta Vinni. Sanat Nagar Satti. So vinod.com. So you can go to EC2 instance IP address also. So EC2 instance IP also, or you can go with the ELB URL. So both it is possible through the alias record. So now can I say this URL to any resource? URL to any resource. So Nana, we have like this. So if you ask, sir, which one is most commonly used, I would, okay, now you tell me. A record, if you want the IP addresses, go with the A record. And then which one is the mostly commonly used? A record, CNAME or alias by seeing this? CNAME you're saying, right? But I'll tell you one small twister, then you'll say CNAME records are billable, alias records are free. Now tell me, see which one you need to using? Alias. So always recommended is to go with the alias record. Okay. CNAME? Amma, no. CNAME? No. So let me give one more thing. So here we are using http://vinod.com. What is vinod.com? Domain. Can I call it as naked domain? We can call it as naked domain. Naked domain meaning only main domain. Naked domain also you can call it as main domain, or you can call it as zone apex record. Zone apex record. So why I said naked domain or main domain? Can we have like this? Admin.vinod.com, maps.vinod.com, hello.vinod.com. Yes or no? What are all these? Can we call it as subdomains? Yes or no? These are called subdomains. Nana, you have google.com. Google.com is a main domain. Maps.google.com, subdomain. Images.google.com, subdomain. So Google has purchased only google.com. That's it. Maps.google.com, images.google.com, photos.google.com, Google Drive, gdrive.google.com, all these are free. So you need to purchase the domain called google.com. Let's say you have purchased the domain called boom.com. Can I go with a.boom.com, b.boom? How many subdomains you can create? You can create it. No issues. All are free. The main domain is only chargeable. The subdomains are not chargeable. And if you want to create a certificate, SSL certificate, HTTPS certificate, will you create it for only boom.com? Will you create it for star.boom.com? Because you can use it for all your subdomains, no? Understood? Right? So this is how you need to. So you need to purchase the main domain, and subdomains are free. Right? And then if you want to have HTTPS or SSL certs, then and purchase just as star.domainname.com or star.boom.com, so that you can use the same set for all subdomains. Okay, Nana? Is it clear? But the problem with the CNAME is you're telling, sir, CNAME is good, but the problem here is for naked domain. What is naked domain? Main domain. So that meaning here vinod.com. So for vinod.com cannot use CNAME. So instead use which one? Alias. Instead use alias. For all subdomains, you can use CNAME. Only for main domain, CNAME is not possible. For subdomains, can you use CNAME? Yes, that is a certification question. Remember, is it possible to have a CNAME for your main domain? No. Which one you need to use? Alias. So remember, in real time, we use this combination, A record plus alias record. We use always this combination. And remember, guys, in any certification question and any interview question, if they ask, Which one do you want to choose? CNAME or alias? Which one will you select all the time? Always choose alias over CNAME. Clear? Is it clear? Then is this clear till here, everyone? Online? Is it clear? Cisia? Non-IT? Okay. So now let me tell you which one you want me to repeat, Om Prakash. Which one you want me to repeat? Quick. URL to IPv4. So he's asking URL to IPv4. Okay, now can you go and have your application only in EC2 instance, one EC2 instance? You can have it, no? So if you, okay, now you have only one EC2 instance. And is it possible to give the IP address to your customer? No. So that IP address need to be make up. Where you do the makeup? Route 53. How do you do the makeup? Which record? A record. So you give a record and give boom.com and which is routing to IP address. So if you are using the IP address as a value, which is a record that will be helpful for that? A record. A record is used for the IP addresses. Okay. Om Prakash. Okay. So super. Now let me give you a fantastic real-time scenario for you now. Okay. But you need to concentrate, guys, please. Now let's talk about routing policies. Which one, Anna? Routing policies. Now let me take another name. http:// this time whose name? Venkat. Venkat.com. Okay. So whenever you hit venkat.com, first the request will go to where? It go to Route 53. It goes to Route 53. From Route 53, it goes to hosted zone. What does the hosted zone contain? Records. Very good. Okay. Can you give me the record name? Venkat.com is routing to where? ELB DNS name. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys? So Venkat.com is routing to the ELB DNS name. So now I created this record like this, but I need to have infrastructure, no? So in which region that you want to set up this infrastructure? Mumbai, huh? Okay. So let's take Mumbai. This is Mumbai. In Mumbai, what do you need to have? You need to have a setup, right? I mean, not in Mumbai, okay. No. Setup in Mumbai meaning your infrastructure. Right, okay. What, macha? So you have the infrastructure, right? You have the infrastructure. And then you have EC2. You know how to set up this infrastructure, correct? Okay. So here we have ELB. No, see here we have ELB and here you have EC2. And ELB is doing the monitoring using what? To EC2 is using health checks. Okay. Okay. Now see, this is Mumbai. So now see here. Yes. Someone is hitting venkat.com. Your customer is hitting venkat.com. First, it will go to Route 3. It goes to the hosted zone. What does the hosted zone contains? Record. What is that record? Venkat.com. So venkat.com should be routed to where? To the ELB. Yes or no? So you are simply routing it to the load balancer, correct? Yes or no, guys? Very important, concentrate. You are simply routing it to the load balancer. Okay, now tell me, if something goes wrong here, your venkat.com will work. So you are doing the health checks for your EC2 instance. Is there anything that you are doing health checks for your venkat.com whole application? So you are simply routing it, no? You are simply routing it. And that's why we call it as simple routing policy. What is this called as? Simple routing policy. Simple routing policy. Do you have any health checks in simple routing policy? No. Simple routing policy. No health checks. No health checks on domain level. Correct? There is no health checks on domain level. Okay. So Nana, so if you're just routing like this, you have your application, you are just routing to your ELB. No health checks, nothing. This is called what routing policy? Simple routing policy. Simple thing. So you have your application, you do the makeup as boom.com or venkat.com, you're sending to the load balancer, simple, that's it. But if we need to have, if the customer says that there is no way that the application should go down, zero downtime I need to have. Never, your application should never go down. So what you want to do? You need to go for the high availability. You need to go with the high availability. So guys, on the infrastructure level, you have the high availability here, load balancer, everything. But I need to have the high availability on the domain level. Correct or no? Okay, now, where is my setup here? Mumbai. So can we have a similar kind of setup, guys, in another region or same region? Right? So here it is Mumbai. Can I call it as primary site? This is my primary site or primary setup, and this is my second. Sure. What is this? This is secondary site, not secondary setup. So this is a secondary site. This is a primary site, and this is a Now clear? Now started, huh? Okay, good. So, so I was talking about what policy? Simple routing policy. Which one, Nana? Simple routing policy. So, routing policies. So, HTTP callers. Whose name did I took? Venkat.com. So, now the request is going to where? Route 53. So it goes to Route 53. From Route 53, it goes to the hosted zone. Okay, from hosted zone, it has the records. What is the sample record that it has? Let's say venkat.com is routing to where? ELB DNS name. Correct, Nana? Okay, so for this, we need to have the Mumbai setup, correct? So here we need to take the Mumbai. In Mumbai, we need to have the infrastructure, load balancer, and then EC2. So this is ELB. This is EC2, and then EC2. And this, and this. And then load balancer is doing the health checks using, load balancer is doing the monitoring using health checks. Health checks. Okay, so this is which site? Mumbai site. Okay. This is Mumbai site. Okay. So now, if someone hitting venkat.com, directly the request is going to the ELB. So the Mumbai. So just in case if something goes wrong with the Mumbai site, your venkat.com will work. No, it doesn't work. So you're simply routing it to the, and why, what we call it as here? Simple routing policy. So you're just simply routing it to the ELB. So do we have any health checks on simple routing policy? No, simple routing policy. I'll say no health checks. Okay. Now, if your customer asks that I don't want to have a downtime at all, so please, I cannot see my application go down. So what you need to set up now? High availability. So you have set up the high availability in the infrastructure level, and you need to set up the high availability on the domain level. So for that, if you consider this Mumbai as a primary site, okay, this is my primary site. Can you have a secondary site in some other region? Yes, you can have this secondary site in the same region also. You can have it in the other region. Anywhere you can have it, correct? So Route 53 is global, no? So it can send the request to any of the region. So if you think that, no, I want to have a DR, disaster recovery. I don't want to have my secondary site in my Mumbai. Can you have the secondary site in Ireland? Yes. Same application. Can you create it and have it in Ireland? Same application. Can you have it in Ireland? Yes or no? Yes. So this one here, I call it as Ireland. You can give it. So this is my secondary site. This is my secondary site. Makes sense? Now, guys, simple routing is policy is done. So let's talk about this side. So now I need to have, yes, how many records I need to create for this? For this, how many records I need to create? 2 records we need to create, no? Very good. How many records? 2 records. So venkat.com should be redirect into the ELB DNS name. Which site? Which region site? No. So forget about the first record. First record is related to simple routing policy is done. So now for this concept, how many records you need to create? 2 records. So venkat.com is going to the ELB DNS. Can I call which DNS? Can I say it is Mumbai? Yes. I say it is as a Mumbai. So it's a Mumbai. So can I call it as primary record? Can I call this as a primary record? No. Yes or no? So that meaning anyone is hitting venkat.com. So first the request will send it to the Mumbai region, and which is my primary record. And you need to create one more record, correct? What is that record called? Second record. Second record we should go to Ireland. And this is my second record. Understood? And let's say if someone is hitting venkat.com, first the request will go to the primary record. So primary record meaning the request will go to the Mumbai. Just in case if Mumbai is not working, then Route 53 will identify, because Route 53 will do the health checks. It will do the health checks if venkat.com is not working. If it is not working, then request will be sent to the secondary side. So now secondary meaning the request will go to where? Ireland ELB. This guy. You understand? So if you want to set up like this is called failover routing policy. Which one? Failover routing policy. Do we have a health checks here? Yes. Without health checks, you cannot. Right? We have a health checks. Do you understand what is failover routing policy? So we have simple routing policy, and then we have a failover routing policy. Simple routing policy, you just simply routing it to the load balancer. That's it. Right? Guys, not only load balancer, any website. Can you have your website in S3 also? Can you have website in Beanstack also? Can you have website in your some other also? Anywhere you can have it. You got it? So failover routing policy, that meaning, now tell me, venkat.com will go down anytime now? Nowhere, it will never go down. It will never go down. Because just in case if the primary site goes down, you have the secondary site. Okay, now I'll tell you one more real-time scenario here. So if he says like, okay, if my venkat.com is down, it's okay. You can show me the maintenance page. Generally, you see the maintenance page. Generally, where in which application you see maintenance page? Huh? Generally, in your real time, in your real life, which websites you will have the maintenance pages? Let's say you are accessing, let's say bank, for example. So bank at midnight 12 a.m. your bank application will work. It will not work. So they will say that maintenance. It is in the maintenance mode. So we are under the maintenance at this time to this time. So if you want to show this kind of page, you can also be done. But what is the failover that I have done here? The website will never go down. Not only 12 o'clock, anytime, anywhere, the website will never go down. But if you want to take the maintenance, what you can do is, okay, which is our primary record? Mumbai ELB is a primary record. So can I have a small maintenance page created in S3 bucket? Guys, can I create S3 bucket? Okay, so here S3 bucket. Can I have a small maintenance .html here and enable static website hosting? Static website hosting. Okay. Now, instead of the secondary record, instead of the secondary record, now I can send it to which one? S3. Correct? Venkat.com should be routed to S3 endpoint. S3 endpoint. So this is my second record. This is my second record. You got this? If you don't want, yes. So if you don't want to have your application running all the time, it's okay if you want to have a maintenance page. This maintenance.html, is it good to put it in EC2? Because it's small HTML file, no? If you put to EC2, you need to have load balancer, EC2, autoscan, everything you need to have. So instead of that, can you put it in S3 differently? Yes. So just in case if my primary site goes down, automatically will send it to the maintenance page. See? These are the multiple real-time techniques that we used to do. How to have a maintenance page on your application. Is it clear? Clear? Huh? Any questions? Understand? Online, is it clear? So, okay. Now, let's say this is, okay. What are all this? Huh? Gudda. So this is the regions. Okay, these are the regions. This is Mumbai, Ireland, Canada, US. You want Bangkok? Okay, see here. So we have the different regions. Okay, see here. Now I have my application in which region? Mumbai region. Guys, see here. I have my application in Mumbai region. So very important. See, I have my application in the Mumbai region, and all my customers are global customers. That meaning I have my customers over the world. So let's say if the Tokyo guy is trying to access my application, he is accessing all the way from Tokyo. These people has low latency or high latency. What they have? They have the high latency. Obviously, they have the high latency. How to resolve this issue? Excellent. So you need to have a edge location concept. But the thing is here, guys, whatever we are doing in my real time, I'm showing all these things for you. Okay. So these are all having the high latency, high latency, high latency. So you say that if you want to have a low latency, you need to use edge locations. But the question here is, my application is not same. In Mumbai, my application is English. For Tokyo, it should be Japanese. For Ireland, it is Irish. For Canada, it is Canadish. No. It is English only, right? So if you have different applications with different languages, now CloudFront will work. CloudFront will not work. CloudFront will take your single application, it will deploy in multiple edge locations. But in this case, CloudFront will work. No, there is no chance that what you need to do is you need to have your own application in each and every region. Correct? Yes, this application you need to have it in Japanese, and this application you need to have it in whichever language that you want. You can have it. This application in Irish. Now, the application name is, tell me some name. Morally. Application name is morally.com. So my application is morally.com. Guys, my Ching Chong in Tokyo, he's accessing morally.com. Right? In Mumbai also, our customers are accessing morally.com. Irish people also accessing Morally. Everyone throughout the world, they're accessing morally.com only. But the thing is, let's say there is a user here who is accessing morally.com. Now tell me, which region should be responded to that guy who is in Tokyo, who is in Japan? Which region should be responded? So I have a user here in Japan. I have a user in Japan. Now tell me, which region should reply? Tokyo region only, no? So how does our Route 53, or how does the request know it should respond from Tokyo? We need to create records in Route 53. What we need to create? So guys, this is called based on the location, the region should get responded, correct? Okay, now you have your user in US. And which application should be responded? US application or Sydney application? The user is in Ireland. Which application should be responded? So how does the request knows? Because guys, there is a policy called geolocation routing policy. What is that? Geolocation routing. So based on the location, Route 53 automatically, let's say there is a Ching Chong in Japan. He typed morally.com. So, and first the request will go to where? Route 53. First the request will go to Route 53. In Route 53, guys, how many records I need to create based on this diagram? How many records I need to create in total? How many? 6 records I need to create. Super. So http:/morally.com. So one is which one? Mumbai wala, Mumbai ELB or EC2. Mumbai ERB or also ERB. Okay. So like this, how many I need to create, Nana? Total 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One is Mumbai and second one is Ireland. Tokyo, kidney, and US. Last one. So how many? 6. So in Route 53, how many you have created? 6. In Route 53, you have created how many? 6. Now, anyone from any region, if they access Morri.com, first the request will go to where? To Route 53. And Route 53 will automatically identify the request is coming from which region. We'll have the IP address now. Route 50 will identify, oh, this request is coming from Japan. So Route 53 will send it to Tokyo. If the request is coming from US, the Route 53 will send it to US. Like this, based on the region, based on the location, Route 53 will redirect to the records. So if you want to set up like this, then you need to go for geolocation routing policy. You understand what is geolocation routing policy? So Route 53 will identify the user's request location and automatically redirect to the particular record. Is it clear, Nana? You understood what is geolocation routing policy now? Guys, everyone. Online. What if the user is not from above 6 locations? Then you can set a default record. You can set a default record. Anyone which is not from these 6 locations, you can send it to a separate another location. Is it clear, Nana? Geolocation. So do you have 5 more minutes? One last policy is there. Okay. So because we had so the last one here is, because tomorrow we can freshly do practicals. That's the reason. So we have Mumbai. Okay. Same regions. Okay. This is Mumbai, Ireland, Canada, US, Sydney, Tokyo. Okay, Nana, see here. Now, my website name is, who is next name? Gopi. Gopi.com. We have Gopi.com. See. And I have my application in each and every region. What? I have my application in every region. I have my application in every region. See here, guys. I have my application in all region. Okay. Now, this is taking 40 seconds and this is taking 2 minutes. This is taking, let's say, 1 minute. And this is taking 50 seconds. And this is taking on 10 seconds. And this is 20 seconds. Okay, see here. So my user in US, and he's trying to access gopi.com. Now tell me from where he'll get the response. So my user in US, and I have my application, same application in all regions. And each application has that latency, 1 minute. From Ireland, it is taking 1 minute to load. Canada, 2 minutes to load. Mumbai, 50 seconds to load. US, 40 seconds to load. Tokyo, 10 seconds to load. Sydney, 20 seconds to load. And the user is trying to access my application. So from which region will respond? Which respond? Tokyo. Guys, doesn't matter where you are, which location you are, which region you are. If you configure a policy called latency-based routing policy. What is that? Latency-based routing policy. Then based on the latency, you will get the response from your application, from that region. Is it clear? This is called latent. Before one is geolocation. And this one is latency based. Is it clear? So here requests get connected based on latency, doesn't matter about the regions. And then we have something called multi-value routing policy, which is same as your simple routing. Does the simple routing policy has health checks? No. Same as simple routing, but multi-value has health checks. That's the only difference. And see, Nana, I'm giving you one small scenario here. This is application. This is EC2 or load balancer. You can take anything. I have 3 EC2s. EC2, EC2, EC2. And I have application here. Okay. So I have client here. Okay. So now, guys, I have clients. Only 10% of the traffic I want to send here. This can be EC2, this can be load balancer, this can be region also. Only few percentage I need to send it here. And based on the percentage, I can send the request, guys. Okay, based on the percentage. How much percentage? Let's say only 10% to this, which is in Mumbai region, right? And this one is, let's say, Ireland, and this one is Tokyo. Okay, so 70% here, and rest 20% here. So I can split the traffic like this. So can I give the weightage to like this? Yes, if you have this kind of requirement also, we can have weighted routing policy. Clear? So what are the routing policies that we have learned today? Simple routing policy, failover routing policy, geolocation routing policy, latency-based routing policy, multi-value routing policy, weighted routing policy. So out of all these things, simple routing policy, failover routing policy, geolocation routing policy, latency routing policy are very, very important. This multi-value weighted is not that much use, but it's very simple, right? Weighted meaning you just need to just give the percentage. So now tell me, maximum of my request will go to which region in weighted routing policy here? Slides, simple. So if you want to set it up only particular region, if you want to send the whole request, then you can go for the weighted routing policy. So this is very useful in environment-based application production. Yes, exactly. This will be very useful, and this is bloody real time also. Okay. Any questions, Nana? Is it clear? Thank you for spending 10 minutes extra with me. So, and unfortunately, I lost the slides. So you can take these slides. Take the screenshot and let me know once done. And what we're going to do is, guys, tomorrow, I told you, if you want to purchase the domain in Route 53, you can purchase it, where you need to spend $12 per year, right? So, and then you go to Route 53 console. On the left side, you have register domain. There you can purchase it. I'm sure that no one will purchase from Route 53. But if you want to purchase from GoDaddy, purchase it. Or if you don't want to purchase it all, just tomorrow, I have my domain already. So I'll be showing the practicals with my domain. You just see and learn. It's up to you. Okay. Free norm. So you need to update the NS records. I told you, no, you have your own NS record. He has his own NS record. In GoDaddy, if you're using only one domain, so with the GoDaddy should route to which AWS account? Yours are his depend upon your NS record. If you have updated your NS record, the request will go to your account. If you take in Route 53, no, nothing. Directly will go to Route 53 itself. But you need to delete that NS records and update his. Edit and no. How can he send like this? No. Okay. Second one. You understood Route 53 in easiest way? Okay. One basic question. Will it be sticky session with ELB once resolved by Route 53? If you enable sticky sessions in ELB, did I show you sticky session in ELB? In ELB, sticky session. I told you, no, stickiness, where you can attach, you can have the session with only one EC2, right? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. And the last one. So guys, and online people, I mean, those who are coming offline before, so please try to come offline, because we might be having only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days more, or 4 days more, 4 to 5 days left. So please try to come offline, and it is good, right? You know, the last days, if you come offline, so it's really good. So those who are, so please plan to come offline if you are able to do. Okay. Can you give the final CC for today, please? Great. Okay. No problem. Great. So that is all, guys, for today. And I'll see you tomorrow with the next Route 53 practicals. Until then, take care. Bye-bye. Have a nice day and see you tomorrow, guys. Don't miss the classes. Bye-bye.